Minnesota Vikings offseason. Key decisions ahead. The Minnesota Vikings have several roster gaps that need to be addressed this offseason. With over $60 million in salary cap space, they have the flexibility to pursue reinforcements before the NFL draft in April. One of the biggest concerns is the secondary, as 5 of the team's top 6 defensive backs are set to become free agents. Additionally, the team needs to bolster the running back position, a pass-rushing defensive tackle, and the interior offensive line. The central question this offseason will be the strategy the Vikings adopt to improve the roster. Their approach could involve aggressiveness in free agency or a draft-focused plan. However, there is concern about the overall quality of the 2024 draft class. At the Senior Bowl, analysts and scouts noted that the available talent is not as strong as in previous years. This perception may impact how the Vikings approach player recruitment. A viable option would be to trade down in the draft to accumulate more picks. This would allow the team to fill more roster holes without relying on top-tier players in a weaker class. Beyond the draft, the Vikings could explore player trades to strengthen critical positions. Free agency will also be essential in securing experienced veterans and addressing immediate needs. The cap space could allow for impactful signings, particularly on defense. The quarterback situation also needs to be resolved, with uncertainty surrounding Kirk Cousins' future. If the Vikings decide to pursue a new QB, it could influence their entire draft strategy. Brian Flores' defense showed improvement in 2023 but needs more pieces to compete at a high level. The team must balance investments in both defense and offense to remain competitive in the NFC North. With crucial decisions ahead, this offseason will be pivotal in shaping the franchise's future. The challenge now is choosing between aggressively investing in proven players or accumulating talent for long-term development. The free agency versus draft dilemma. The choice between signing veteran free agents or developing young talent through the draft will be decisive for the franchise's future. If the Vikings opt to bring in experienced players, they could accelerate their competitiveness in the NFC North. However, a draft-focused approach could be more sustainable in the long run, especially if they accumulate picks. Kirk Cousins' contract situation will be one of the biggest factors in determining this strategy. If Cousins stays, the Vikings can prioritize reinforcements in other areas, such as defense and the offensive line. If he leaves, the team may consider acquiring a new quarterback through the draft, a trade, or free agency. In the draft, prospects like J.J. McCarthy and Michael Penix Jr. could be considered if the Vikings target a young QB. If they decide to trade down, they could strengthen multiple positions with additional picks. On the market, players like Chase Young and Chris Jones could be key targets to improve the defense. The offensive line could also be upgraded with signings like Robert Hunt and Connor Williams. Additionally, the running back situation needs to be addressed, especially with the decline in production in the ground game. A defensive-minded strategy, focusing on strengthening the front line and secondary, could transform Brian Flores' unit. With division rivals like the Detroit Lions and Green Bay Packers on the rise, the Vikings need to act quickly to stay competitive. The 2024 draft may not be strong in elite talent, but it still offers solid depth options for the roster. Trading down could provide strategic benefits and better prepare the team for the future. GM Kwesi Adofo-Mensah will play a key role in defining the right approach to balance competitiveness and long-term planning. The Vikings must carefully assess opportunities to avoid costly mistakes and resource mismanagement. Fans are eagerly waiting to see what decisions the franchise will make to return to the playoffs. Regardless of the approach, the 2024 offseason will be a crucial turning point for the team. The coming weeks will bring answers on how the Vikings plan to build a competitive roster for the upcoming season.